Come on.
Hey guys, so today I did my own lash extensions at home. If you watch my channel, you know that I love my lash lift and tint that I do. I have a DIY video on that as well if you want to watch that. But today I wanted to try out the lash extensions, see what I liked more, see which wore better, see which lasted longer, and all of that. There are so many videos on how to do them, the whole process, so I'm just going to quickly talk you through that. But what I want this video to mainly be is kind of the upkeep and aftercare of once you do your own lash extensions at home. So these are the lashes that I used. I will link these in the description box down below if you want to purchase those. These lashes cost around $10, so compared to professional lash extensions, that is a ton cheaper. I know the quotes that I've seen for professional lash extensions can go anywhere from $100 to $150. I don't know, they could go more than that. There could be people that offer them less than that, but that's just what I've seen. So I wanted to try these $10 lashes out and see if they really looked like lash extensions, if they really lasted like lash extensions, because that is a lot of money that you're saving if you do them yourself versus going to a professional. I think even after doing the lash extensions today, I think that the lash lift and tint might still be my favorite. I just really love that really natural look that my lash lift and tint gives me, but I do like these lash extensions. I think that they came out really well. So how I applied mine was I took 3 or 4 from the bottom long row of the lashes and applied them on the very outside corner. You can see that the outside on this eye goes down a lot farther than this eye, so I am going to take a couple of the very end lashes off of this one just to kind of even them up, but I just haven't done that yet because the glue is still very fresh. So I am going to take at least one of the long ones off of this side, maybe 2, just to kind of even it out. I like the look of this eye better. I think it looks a little bit more natural. This one's just kind of drooping down a little bit, so I am going to remove those. I started with 3 to 4 of the long on the outside. Then for most of the eye, I just used the medium length, and then on the inner corner, for about 3 to 4 lash clusters, I used the small size. One thing to remember when you are applying these lashes is that you don't want to apply them to your actual eyelid. You want to just lay them on top of your lashes. So you don't want any of the clusters to be attached to your skin. You just want to lightly lay them onto your lashes. If you want to see someone actually applying the lashes, there are tons of videos all over the internet of people applying them. I tried to film myself applying them, but with it being my first time, never doing it before, without wearing my contacts or glasses, like I just had to get like this close to the mirror, so the filming wasn't happening. But I did want to share kind of the aftercare with you guys more so anyways. So these are supposed to last around 2 weeks. I've seen some things saying up to 6 weeks, but I'm not really trusting that. I feel like that would be really hard to accomplish. So I'm just here for the 2 weeks. So the whole process for me, this being my first time, it literally took me probably like 4 hours to do this. So it's not something that you're going to be able to do really fast. Maybe if you apply lashes like every day, or if you've used these cluster lashes before, you might be a lot faster than I am. But with this being the first time I'd ever worked with these lashes, I don't really apply false lashes hardly ever anyways. It just took me quite a long time. So just know that going into it, it does only cost you $10, but it does take quite a bit of time. I'm going to show you guys some close-ups of what my lashes look like now that they're done. They do still have quite a bit of extra glue in them. I haven't gone over them to try to get any of that out yet. I will do that, but I just literally finished them not too long ago, so I just want to show you guys right away what mine look like. Over the next few weeks, I'm just going to check in with you guys, show you my lashes, give you updates on how I care for them, what kind of products I use for taking my makeup off, how they wear getting wet, washing my face, taking a shower. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm just going to give you guys some updates on how I've been caring for my lashes and also how they're wearing, what they're looking like over the next 2 weeks. It is now Wednesday. I did the lashes on Saturday, so this is my 4th day wearing them. And I'm pretty pleased so far. They look pretty good. They look pretty much the same as they did on Saturday. 2 things I've noticed are on Sunday, so just the day after I put the lashes on, I had another one come off the outside edge of this side, but I do think that's because I had removed those 2 that I told you guys that I was wanting to remove, and I had used some glue remover on those, so I'm thinking that that one that came off on Sunday probably just got a little bit of the glue remover on it, and that's why it came off. But I did have one come off on the very edge of this side on Monday. It was a really small one, so it doesn't really make a difference, and I honestly like them better the way they look now than they did before, so it worked out. But another thing that I've noticed is I definitely think that it's worth investing in a black lash glue rather than using the clear one that comes with the kit. I'll link a black lash glue in the description box down below as well. With this being my first time, I did get a little bit heavy-handed with the glue just because I wanted to make sure that they stuck. But in the close-up shots, you'll be able to see that you can kind of see the flakiness or just the dried glue a little bit more than I would prefer. It's nothing that probably anybody else would notice unless they were like right next to my face. But it is something that I think in the future, if I do these again, or if you're planning on doing them and want them to look the best that they can, I do think that a black lash glue is the way to go. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in for some close-ups, show you guys what the lashes are looking like so far. But so far we're 4 days in and they're holding on well. Honestly, I think they look better than they did when I started. So I'll show you guys some close-ups. One thing I didn't mention in the very beginning of the video is that I'm not doing anything special to accommodate these. I want to see how much these lashes can actually take. I'm not trying to baby them in any way. I'm not sleeping any differently. I'm not washing my face any differently or showering any differently. I'm not worrying about them getting wet or hitting something or laying against something. I am just going about how I normally would because I want to see how well these hold up without kind of catering to them. I also haven't applied any makeup since I've had these on, so I'll apply some eyeshadow and then remove it with some eye makeup remover and all of that before I check in with you guys on Saturday so that I can let you know how all of that goes. Okay guys, it is now Saturday, so a week from when I first originally applied the lashes, and I don't know if you can tell from this far away. Okay guys, I am so sorry, but I didn't realize until I was editing this video that my camera stopped recording at this part, so I just want to fill you guys in on what I was saying. If you can tell from the picture, I have lashes on one eye and no lashes left on one. So what ended up happening was I got so sick of the crusty look of the lash glue that was dried in my lashes. I hadn't tried to take any of it out. I wanted to just see how it wore. Originally, I was planning on removing it, trying to get some of it out, but I just wanted to see overall how the glue would wear, what it would look like, how it would look when it had been on a few days, and it did not look good. So that ultimately is what drove me to take the lashes off earlier than planned. I planned on wearing them for 2 weeks, but it was just too much. It looked incredibly crusty and flaky. You'll see it in the up close shots, but I just couldn't handle it anymore. You could definitely see it in my lashes. It wasn't something that you wouldn't be able to see unless you were like right up on me. Like if anybody was looking me in the eyes, you were definitely gonna see the crusty stuff that was clumped up in my lashes. So I decided to take them off early and see how the whole removal process would go. And honestly, the lash glue remover that comes in the kit did not work well for me at all. Like there was no progress with it. I think if you use that, you're probably going to rip out all of your lashes, especially if you try to take them off early like I did. Maybe when they've been on for a while, you might be okay, but I ended up having to use a straight oil to remove them. So I just took the oil, rubbed it on my lash line and over my lid, let it kind of sink in, and then I just slowly started kind of rubbing my lashes between my thumb and my pointer finger to just kind of loosen up that glue. Even with the oil, they did come off a little bit easier, but it was still a task, you guys. And as you can see in the thumbnail or in this clip right here, my eye did get kind of swollen and red and irritated. They just weren't ready to come off yet. The glue hadn't loosened up enough yet, and it was a task. It was a task, you guys. So I definitely recommend keeping them on the whole time. You can see on my other eye, there are still some lashes left, but some of those I had already started taking off as well. They just started to bother me. I just couldn't stand the look of the dried glue any longer. I tried to make it as long as I could, but I just couldn't make it the full 2 weeks. But just know that the removal process was not simple for me. It was not easy. Some of my lashes did get pulled out with the lash extensions. The glue just was not budging, but I did end up having to use a straight oil to remove them over the lash glue remover that comes with the kit. That just did not work for me. My eyes did get pretty irritated and red and kind of swollen, so just know that going into it that it's not an easy task to remove them, especially if you decide to remove them before the glue has completely kind of worn off. Okay, so you can see that this one, I did take some off of this eye as well, but you can see how they just started getting like really crusty where the glue is. And I think that if I use the black glue, it wouldn't be a problem because it wouldn't be as noticeable. But I did take them all off of this eye, and you can tell that this eyelid is a little bit red and irritated just from like pulling on them, messing with them. Just being honest, even though I used the really thick oil to remove them, it really does hurt when they're not ready to come off. The ones that fell off on their own, they didn't hurt at all. They just kind of came off. They didn't take like lashes out. Trying to remove them myself, a lot of them were really painful to take off. My eye did get really swollen and red and irritated. So just know that going into it, that if you do try to remove them yourself, that it's not really the most enjoyable process. It didn't rip out all my lashes or anything like that, which I'm thankful for, but I would have been much better off to use a black lash glue and let them just kind of come out on their own, or to wear them a little bit longer where the glue had kind of worn down a little bit. I just couldn't make it the full 2 weeks because that dried stuff that I showed you was just like driving me absolutely crazy. Okay, so it has been a few days since I have taken the lashes off, and I just wanted to kind of do a recap of this whole process and share my thoughts with you and let you know kind of if I would do them again, the things I learned, the things that I would do differently. I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but I do still think that I like the lash lift and tint on my lashes better than these like DIY lash extensions. If you're someone that likes a more dramatic look to your lashes, then the lash extensions are the way to go. If you want a more natural look, then I would suggest the lash lift and perm. But I did want to share just some final thoughts with you guys. I did put makeup on while I had the lashes on. All I used to remove my makeup was a cotton round and an oil-free eye makeup remover. So I think any makeup remover that is oil-free will work. The only thing I did notice was the cotton from the cotton round that I used to kind of wipe it off did kind of get stuck in the lashes a little bit and leave little like spidery things in my lashes, but they just came out easily. But if you use something else, you won't have that problem. Normally, of course, with my eye makeup remover and the cotton round, I would just go like right over all of my eye and my lashes because I have mascara to get off. So I did try to be a little bit more careful when I was removing my makeup just because I didn't need to go down on my lashes. So that was a little different just because I'm used to going over like all of my lashes, but I didn't have a problem with them coming off. I didn't have a problem applying makeup. I didn't have any problems when I took my makeup off. So like I said, I just used an oil-free eye makeup remover and I had no problems with that. The next thing I wanted to mention was that prior to applying the lash extensions, I did dye my natural lashes with a black dye. I'll link the one that I used in the description box down below. I just felt like if my lashes were dark, they were going to match the lash extensions a lot better, and you weren't going to really be able to tell what was my natural lash and what was the lash extension, and I don't think you could tell at all. My natural lashes just blended really nicely with the lash extensions, so that is something I would suggest if you're able to do that. I just think that it helps it all to kind of blend a little better together. One thing that really surprised me with these DIY lash extensions was that they were not heavy on my lashes at all. Like I would forget that they were on until I would look in the mirror, and I also couldn't see them. You know how sometimes you'll put on like a pair of strip false lashes and they'll be kind of heavy, like weighted on your lashes, and then you'll also be able to see them when you look out? These were not like that at all. I could not see them. They didn't weigh down on my lashes. I had no problems with that, so I was really surprised by that, and I thought that that was really awesome. So overall, I'm not gonna say that I wouldn't do these again. I do think if you're gonna do them, or if I do them again, definitely get a black lash glue. I think that will make the world of difference. You won't be able to see that kind of crusty, dried, clear glue like I could, which made me want to take them off sooner, which in turn made my eyes a little swollen and irritated because they just weren't ready to come off. It pulled a little bit of lashes out, but as you can see, I have plenty of lashes left. It wasn't something that pulled all my lashes out, but I do think having a black lash glue and then leaving them on at least the full 2 weeks, maybe longer if they're still intact and looking well, I think that they would definitely come off a lot easier if you just kind of let them run their course. But my number one tip is use a black lash glue because I think that it would have made the world of difference in my lashes. In the beginning, I wasn't really sure how I felt about the look of them. I wasn't used to having kind of that dramatic lash look to my lashes. I just always either had them natural or I've done the lash lift and tint. So I'm more of that kind of natural look type of person, but I do think that these lash extensions looked really great. I don't think that you would have been able to tell if I didn't have the crusty lash glue. I don't think that anybody would have been able to tell that they were DIY. I found pictures that looked exactly like what my eye looked like, the exact shape of the lashes, the same look. I mean, they were literally almost identical. So I think that this is a great alternative if you're not wanting to spend the money to go to a professional and have your lashes done. But just keep in mind, if you use the clear lash glue, use it very sparingly because it will kind of crust up. And that was the biggest turn off for me with these lashes, was just how they looked when I had them on a few days and that glue was really kind of getting like crusty and kind of clumped up. I was not crazy about that. The other con to this is that they take forever to apply. So if you have some extra time and you want to try out some DIY lash extensions, I didn't have an overall bad experience. It was my fault that they were so hard to take off, I think. I wish I could have waited the full 2 weeks to kind of see if they would have come off a little bit easier. But like I mentioned before, the lash glue remover that comes with the lashes was a no-go for me. I just used straight up oil. Like you could use an olive oil, a castor oil, something like that, and I just rubbed it on my lashes and it kind of broke up that glue, and then they came off a little bit easier, but they still did not come off very easily. So just beware of that if it's something that you're going to want to take off before they've been on your eyes a while, before the glue really starts to wear away. If you're going to take them off before they've kind of run their course, you might have the same problems I did with your eyes getting a little bit irritated, a little bit swollen. But ultimately, that went down. I can't say that I would do them again, but I can't say that I wouldn't do them again. I definitely think after doing both the lash lift and tint and the lash tint and the lash extensions, I personally prefer the lash lift and tint. That's just the look that I like. But I don't know that I wouldn't do these again if I had a black lash glue. So I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. I wanted to tell you kind of about the upkeep that I did, because there are a lot of videos showing the process of how to get them on, but not the process of removing them or the process of taking off your makeup. So I did just use an oil-free makeup remover and it worked great. I had no problems. I didn't baby them when I showered or when I slept or when I washed my face. I just did like I would normally do. I didn't baby them in any way. I sleep on my side. I mean, they got wet. I think they are pretty sturdy and they do seem to last on your lashes for a long time. So if you have time to apply them and you have time to let them kind of run their course, then I don't think it's a bad idea. But I don't know if I personally would do them again or not. I'm not totally opposed, but I'm not absolutely in love like I was when I first did my lash lift and tint. But I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. I hope that this video is helpful. If you have any other questions that I didn't answer, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. And remember, you are beautiful, you're a blessing, and I am so thankful for you. Bye. So I have quite a few things to share with you guys today, and I'm also introducing a new category to my favorites, the snack category, because you guys know that I love my snacks.